Tired of trying to make chicken tikka masala like they serve in Indian restaurants but never really getting there? That ends now. It's simple. If you want curries like they make in restaurants, you need to make them like they do. And this is how. For real. Table for four, anyone? Really good chicken tikka masala starts with really good chicken tikka, and that means spice. In a bowl large enough to hold all the chicken, combine 1 tablespoon of cumin, 2 tablespoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 2 teaspoons of hot curry powder, and 1 tablespoon of kasoori methi or fenugreek leaves. This is kosher salt. Kosher salt is not the same as table salt. If you're using table salt, use 1 teaspoon instead of 2. 2 teaspoons of kashmiri chili powder adds a little heat and some great color. 1 teaspoon of mint sauce, 1 tablespoon of garlic ginger paste, a few sprigs of finely chopped cilantro to liven things up, 3 tablespoons of oil and enough water to make a runny paste. Whisk to combine and add 1 1/2 pounds of boneless skinless chicken thighs that you've cut into bite-sized pieces. Thighs are more forgiving and have more flavor. I've said it before and I'll likely say it again. Thighs are the right choice for Indian cooking. Seasoned master tikka chefs will notice that there's no yogurt in this marinade. Yogurt is okay if you have a tandoor to play with, but it isn't great at lower temperatures. You'll get much better flavor intensity without it if you're cooking tikka on a charcoal grill or in a conventional oven. Don't take my word for it though. Try it for yourself and decide. Once the chicken is evenly coated with the marinade, cover the bowl with cling wrap and refrigerate for 4 and up to 12 hours. Here's the thing. Marination is a surface phenomenon. Leaving it longer doesn't really get you much, except a fridge that smells of tikka marinade and maybe a better chance to get food poisoning. Lemon juice is acidic. I'm sure I've surprised no one with that revelation. Acid denatures protein. That's a fancy way of saying it cooks the chicken, which is great for ceviche, but not my personal favorite for chicken. That's why it goes in at the end. The longer it spends in an acid bath, the more it cooks. I am a charcoal snob. I way prefer cooking tikka over charcoal, but I get that not everyone has the gear. When I cook chicken tikka in the oven, I like a sheet pan with a rack. Less work and less mess. Skewers not required. Try to leave a little room between pieces. Not tons, just enough to make sure you don't wind up with a solid slab of tikka. Cook the chicken tikka in a 400-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. Convection helps here. Convection is the OG air fryer. If you have it, use it. Things won't look great after 10 minutes and you'll be wondering if everything's gone horribly wrong. Stay calm and curry on. Flip each piece and return the tray to the oven and cook for another 5 minutes or so, then hit them with the blazing heat that is your broiler to crisp them up. I always make extra chicken tikka to allow for quality control. I suggest you do the same. It's very important to have a good quality control system in place. Restaurants don't make curries the way most of the internet teaches. They use this stuff called curry gravy, and they use it in a way you might not expect. I'll get to that in a bit. I'm making just enough curry gravy for this chicken tikka masala recipe. I've popped a link to the big batch version above. If you get into cooking Indian restaurant style, you'll want to take a look. Heat a roughly 3-quart pot over medium-low heat. Add 3 tablespoons of oil and 1 pound of diced onions. Sweat the onions for about 5 minutes, then add 1 teaspoon of chopped ginger and 2 cloves of crushed garlic. Let that cook for another 2 minutes. Then add 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of coriander, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, and a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. Take your time here. Magic happens when spices fry. Food magic. There are oil-soluble compounds in spices. Frying them gets those oil-soluble flavors out of the spices and into the oil, and then into your mouth, which is exactly where you want them. Give things a few minutes to develop and add a 1/4 cup of fresh diced tomatoes. You can use canned here if tomatoes are out of season. Good canned tomatoes are always better than the dead of winter dust-flavored February tomatoes I get where I live. Use your judgment. Cook that for a couple minutes, then add 4 cups of decent no-sodium chicken stock. Toss in a couple of sprigs of cilantro, bring to a simmer, cover and cook for 20 minutes. Let cool a bit and then puree to that silky smooth consistency you enjoy at Indian restaurants. You can do all the prep ahead of time. You can freeze curry gravy. You can even freeze chicken tikka, although I wouldn't necessarily recommend that. This part goes fast. Heat a 12-inch skillet over medium-low heat. Size matters no matter what you may have heard to the contrary. A big part of the magic happens when you fry the curry gravy. More surface area equals more frying power. More frying power equals more flavor. That's the new curry math. Add 5 tablespoons of neutral oil. You know your pan is hot enough when the oil starts to shimmer. This is homemade garlic ginger paste. I'll drop a link to that too. You need to try making it. Homemade is a flavor explosion in your mouth. Add 2 tablespoons of flavor explosion and stand back. It will splatter. This is messy cooking. Don't wear nice clothes. Cook the garlic ginger paste for about a minute or until it seems safe to approach the pan without body armor, then add 1 tablespoon of tikka masala. You can get this at Indian grocers or make your own. 1 teaspoon of turmeric, 1 1/2 teaspoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 1/2 teaspoons of kashmiri chili powder, don't worry, it's mild, 2 teaspoons of fenugreek leaves, and a 1/2 teaspoon of amchoor. That's the Indian name for powdered mango. Finally, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. This is the part where you make your house smell just like an Indian restaurant. The spice frying thing is called blooming spices. You want to be careful here. Watch your heat. You want your spices to fry. You don't want them to burn. There's no fixing burnt spices. Just start over. This may seem a little scary, but it's fundamental to Indian cooking. It makes a huge difference. Once you get this technique down, you'll be on your way to Jedi Curry Master. Let your spices bloom for about 45 seconds, then add a half cup of passata. Once the passata goes in, you can stop worrying about burning spices. Crank the heat up and fry until you see the oil starting to separate. About a minute or so, then add 6 ounces of curry gravy. This is exactly how restaurants do what they do, for real. Frying curry gravy hard in batches is the whole secret. That lush sauce you've been craving, it's happening right before your eyes. Add the curry gravy in 3 or 4 batches. Stir to combine when you add a batch and then let fry until you see little craters form and the oil start to separate, around 90 seconds. Do this each time you add some gravy. It's going to spatter no matter what you do, so stand back. They don't wear Versace in Indian restaurant kitchens for a reason. The spatter is important though. Frying the gravy hard is fundamental to this style of cooking. You can't not do it. It would be like trying to roast a chicken in a 175-degree oven for twice as long. It's just not going to work out. What does work in chicken tikka masala is a half cup of coconut milk, a quarter cup of heavy cream, and a teaspoon of brown sugar. That might seem a little decadent, but seriously, who doesn't need a little decadence in their lives these days? The final flavor blast comes from the chicken tikka. Add what's left after the quality control phase and simmer until the chicken is heated through. Check the consistency. If it's too thick, add a little chicken stock and stir to get it to come together. Chicken tikka masala just like they serve at Indian restaurants. For real, seriously, and seriously delicious. You know what goes really well with chicken tikka masala? Butter chicken. If that sounds good, check out this video next. And remember, life's too short for bad food.